Hello, and welcome to a Wall's End episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, once again, Nick Harmon. With us today is the tiniest taper, all the way from Newcastle, England, Cathy Bear. Cathy has been in the trade now for 3 years, but with a nudge by Ben Cole of GWI, has quickly become the newest trend on social media. Her videos are quick-witted and her content is wonderful if you get a chance to see it. But there's more to this tiny taper than meets the eye. She is the mother of two, a philanthropist, and has a knack of letting herself be known.
Plastering's always been a big one here, but tapering's, it's not very popular. Well, it hasn't been popular, but it is becoming more popular.
Okay.
A lot of children, they leave school a lot like what I did, and they just go into jobs that they're not going to be happy in and that they don't really want to be there. I think it would be good to give other people a chance to learn the skills.
Yeah.
I would need a lot of funding though, wouldn't I? I would need a lot of funding and a lot of sponsorships for that, I think.
I'm so grateful that Ben convinced her to start getting more involved with social media, and I'm also grateful that she decided to come on to the Drywall Podcast today. She's worked with children, she's donated to charities, and she has a soft spot for those in need, and I'm excited to have her on the podcast. Hey, turn the sander down. Thank you. That's better. I am super jazzed to announce our latest sponsor, all the way from Australia, Morph Sanding Solutions. Drywallers, listen up. Meet the Morph Sander, designed by an Aussie drywaller who knows the grind firsthand. No, literally, all this guy has done for the last 10 years is sand frickin' drywall. Think I'm joking? Check out my episode with James Y. Honig, episode 115 on the Drywall Podcast to hear the whole story. It's good and you might enjoy it. Unbeknownst to many in Australia, they have tradesmen who just specialize in sanding drywall. James happens to be one of those people, spending all that time sanding in conjunction with a ton of other skill sets has enabled him to invent the world's best sanding tools. Now he's changing the game worldwide. The Morph Sander features a sprung floating tip that adapts to imperfect boards, tackling even the worst hang jobs. That's why it's called Morph. It works with the job and not against it. Have I piqued your interest? I'm sure I have. You can reach out to James directly if you have questions at morphsandingsolutions.com.au or check them out at CSR Building Supply. They are available there. Tired of listening to me ramble? Me too. I hope you're excited for this next one, as am I, Cathy Bear, on the 123rd episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
We've got Cathy Bear, the tiniest taper on the Drywall Podcast. How exciting.
I'm here.
You were a little nervous.
I'm really, really nervous.
You're not nervous now, though.
Still a little bit. I'll get there, though. I'll be okay. I'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, easy. It's just like two colleagues just having a chat.
Yeah, but one of them doesn't really know anything about it. I don't really know a lot about drywall.
That's me. That's me.
So you can just teach me. This can be a teaching episode.
Sure. Well, maybe we'll teach each other. Thank you so much for being on the Drywall Podcast. You are our second UK person on the Drywall Podcast. We had Daniel Atkinson. So really great guy. Good episode. You have been sort of emerging onto the social media scene lately. It seems like you weren't doing social media, but then all of a sudden there's this tiny taper all over the place.
Yeah,
what's that all?
I've never really been interested in it. I'm quite shy. But
Okay.
it's all Ben's idea. It's all his fault. So if it goes wrong, we can
Oh,
blame him.
we're talking about Ben Cole from owner of GWI in Swindon.
Yeah, that's him.
How do
So
you know, how do you know Ben?
he's always been my supplier. Well, I would say
Okay.
probably for the last year, he's been my supplier.
Okay.
Um, and obviously, I think he's seen a video of me just on my personal account, and suggested that it would be a good idea to start. So here
Yeah.
I am.
Cool. I'm excited because we like bolstering not only women in the trades but women in drywall. And you were saying we talked a little bit. You were saying that UK is there. You don't know any other women in the UK that do drywall currently. So hopefully we can fix that. I don't know. Have you found any
Hopefully,
since we talked?
no, none yet.
No. All right.
No,
All right, fair enough. We've got a lot Ben's a great guy, right?
he is. Yeah, he's great.
He's pretty
He always
cool.
sends he always sends a lot of nice things out for me, so I'm very happy with him.
Yeah, and Ben was like, "Hey, you know what? We need a woman influencer in the UK. You're our girl. Let's do this."
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Okay. And you're pretty new to drywall. Let's talk about that. You said it was your partner got you into drywall?
Yeah, yeah. He's done it for around 20 years.
Okay.
So when he was about 17, his uncle Sid knocked on his door and said, "Do you fancy a job?" So off he went, and Sid trained him up, and 20 years later, here he is training me. So it's really nice.
Cool. And you are out of Newcastle.
Yeah.
So, for our listeners, maybe in the United States or Canada, can you tell us a couple fun facts about Newcastle? All I know is that I really like their soccer jerseys. You got the black and white stripes, or football, as it were.
Yeah.
You get the black and white stripes. That's your home kit.
hmm
That's all I know about Newcastle. But you were telling me it's so beautiful that everybody has to go to Newcastle and check it out.
Yeah, especially if you're interested in football. I think, there's such a big community, that follow the football.
Yeah.
It has been said that St. James's Park has got the best atmosphere in the world as well. So
Okay.
it's always nice to see it, and when you hear it on the radio, or if even if you're in town, you can hear it.
It's called St. James's Park.
Yeah,
Who is
yeah.
St. James? Who's St. James?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me.
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
know.
Oh
I
man.
should have done my research. I should have done the research. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. That's all right. You know what? We'll find out who St. James is and who this fabulous park
Mm.
is. But it's not the park, it's the people, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody says everybody in Newcastle is really friendly. So that is one thing that we get from people from all over the world. Everyone said everyone's really friendly up here,
Okay.
compared to down south.
So maybe not quite the soccer or football hooligans that you have maybe in other parts of the UK.
Oh no, we still have them. We've still
You
got
got the
those. But
hooligans. Yeah,
yeah,
good.
we've got those. But we've got a lot of nice people as well.
All right. Very good. And so how you've been in Newcastle your whole life?
Yeah, yeah. So I was brought up in a town called Wallsend. Um, and it just means the end of the wall. So it's the end of Hadrian's Wall. Um,
What's that? What's the end of Hadrian's Wall?
Emperor Hadrian was an emperor back years and years
Okay.
ago.
All right.
And he built a wall in between England and Scotland. Um,
Okay.
I'm not sure what it was for or whatever, but there is a wall there, and there is remnants of the wall there now. Um, but if you're from Wallsend, you tend to call it Wallsend because that's how we speak.
Wowzen. Okay.
Wallsend. It's just
And
like a Geordie dialect on it.
so I was thinking you had a heavy Irish, but it's Scottish. It's a Scottish
We're
inflection.
closer to Scotland, yeah. We're closer to Scotland than we are, London or places like that. We're
Sure.
quite
Well,
high
it's
up
a
north.
beautiful accent. I love it. I mean, um, it's very fun to hear different accents. I mean, we've interviewed some people from Australia and New Zealand, and the fantastic accents over there as well. So, did you, when you graduated, like high school, you have like a high school program over there? Did you graduate high school? What did you do? Because if you're 3 years into the trade, you didn't start getting into drywall until you were late. Do they call it drywall or do they call it dry lining?
Dry lining mostly, or
Okay,
taping and
and
jointing. That's
taping
what
and
we would call
jointing.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Did because you didn't get into it right away. So you're, I don't want to get it wrong, 36.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you were like 33 when you got into the trade. There's a big gap there after high school. What'd you do after high school?
Yeah. So after high school, I think it's different where you are, isn't it? So high school is
Oh, it's different.
college
It's,
where you are, isn't it? Um, I wasn't lucky enough to go to college. I was kind of pushed to go straight into work. So I started just working in office jobs, jobs that you don't really want to be doing. When you don't know what you want to do anyway. So I was just doing office jobs for a while. And I ended up getting pregnant pretty early on. So
okay.
I was 17 when I fell pregnant with Kate.
Okay.
Um,
You got one
and
kiddo?
two,
Nice.
two,
And
yeah.
is Cade?
Kate,
Kate.
Kate, female.
Kate.
Yeah.
Beautiful Kate. How old's Kate now?
She's 17 now.
Oh, she's older. She's
Yeah.
older.
Yeah,
Nice. And then you have another kiddo?
yeah, she's Alice, 12.
Two girls.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful. And Alice.
yeah.
All right. And okay, so you had a kid that will make somebody get mature very quickly. Whether probably doesn't matter where you are in the world, that is going to happen if you have a kid. So you said you weren't lucky enough to get into college. Now, how is the college system over there? Do you have to be do you have to get a certain GPA or grade point average to go to college? Are you picked,
Um,
or can anyone
so
kind of go if you want?
I think you can kind of go if you want.
Okay.
But some courses you will need to have, certain averages to get on the courses. But
Okay.
for me personally, I was living at home with my mum, and
Okay.
she wanted the money for the board. She wanted me to be out working so I could pay her
Yeah.
to stay there. So I was working at 16, just as many, as many hours as I could really.
And you
Also, I was
said,
having a lot of fun as well, but
of course.
I was paying my way.
Okay. Having fun doing what? What were you doing?
Well, here, especially in the UK, alcohol's a big culture,
Okay.
and young drinking is encouraged quite a lot as well.
Sure.
So I did spend a lot of teenage years drinking alcohol and
Okay.
just messing around, obviously, until I fell pregnant. Um, so it is kind of celebrated here and encouraged,
Yeah.
but so that's what a lot of teenagers do here in the
Yeah,
UK. Yeah.
more teenagers do it here too, but it's more I would say normalized probably in your area, and
Yeah.
where kids will have a glass of wine with dinner and stuff, but that's not
Mm.
typical in the United States. Like
No, I mean,
kids, it's
men
frowned
here are
on.
so excited. They're so excited to take the children for the first pint on their 18th birthday. So,
Yeah.
it's like a coming of age thing that everyone really looks forward to. So
Okay.
it is really celebrated. It is.
Was it just your mom in the
Yeah,
house?
yeah. I had an older sister. Well, I have an older sister. She lived at home until she was 16. And then she was kicked out. She moved on elsewhere, so it was just me at home in the end. But as soon as I had Kate, I moved out and I rented a little house and made my own way. So it was good from
Okay.
there on.
What's the age gap? What's the age difference in your sister?
So she's 7 years older than me,
Okay.
um, but we've got different dads.
Okay.
Um, so her dad passed away when she was around 13, and I never knew my dad ever.
Okay.
Um, but I took an ancestry DNA test in 2023 and I
Okay.
found him. So we're just building our relationship at the minute. So it's really good.
Shut it. You discovered your dad later.
Yeah, man.
Later. How
Yeah,
did you
man.
do that?
So there's you know how you would have Ancestry DNA?
Yeah.
So I got one of those tests. I put my details in, um, and matched with his cousin. And guess what his cousin was called? His cousin was called Leonard. So,
Leonard.
yeah, same as
And that's
Sean
neat.
Leonard.
If you're listening, that's neat because my son, we talked a little bit. My son's name is Sean-Leonard after my ex-wife's, Sean's great grandfather. So it was Leonard, and my brother's
Mm.
name was Sean, hence Sean Leonard. So kind of an Irish English name, for
Yeah,
sure.
so I matched with the cousin. I never actually spoke with the cousin. He never
Okay.
responded to my message straight away, and I was too impatient. So I was on Facebook. I was contacting anybody I could with the same surname or anything, and found him. We
Yeah,
took an actual DNA test and
that's
confirmed that it was
cool.
him. Yeah.
Why did you want to, why did you want to find your dad? Besides the
Um,
obvious reasons.
yeah, I think I've always kind of heard horror stories from my mum. My mum's always been an alcoholic, so there's never really
Okay,
been a great relationship. I think she has a lot of resentment that she had two children to two different men.
sure.
Um, and I don't think she was very proud of that fact. So I think she wanted to keep some of that secret. But I
Okay.
would always ask. I would always ask as a child, and I would always get
Yeah.
different stories.
Yeah.
Um, and to be honest with you, it's really healed us. It's really
Yeah.
healed that part of me, and I didn't even know that I needed that connection. I thought I just wanted to know for knowing's sake, but having having the connection, I've got more siblings. My grandparents are still alive.
Okay.
He's got a wonderful wife as well, who's just so loving and caring. So it's everything's going in the right direction, and it is
Good.
just bittersweet that it didn't happen earlier on, and that I've missed out on all of those years with them. But it is
Yeah.
really nice.
So maybe the stories that you were getting from your mom maybe didn't match up quite with the actual who your dad was in actuality. And that happens
Yeah,
sometimes. That
yeah.
happens. But you've
Hmm.
had this reconnection with your biological father.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
extraordinary.
he's a retired plasterer as well, so
Shut
I'm
it.
kind of second gen, but I didn't learn anything from him.
That's cool. So you get that he's unbeknownst to you, he's in, but he's plaster,
Not taper, no,
not taper. Okay,
plaster.
interesting. Does it? Are you inspired to maybe learn some of the plastering trade?
I've always been quite interested in it.
Yeah.
I don't really know the difference though, to be honest. There
Okay.
isn't a great difference, is there? Do you say? It is just sticking things on a wall, isn't it?
It is sticking things on a wall. It's working with mediums, but there's a definite difference between
Mhm.
finishing and plaster for sure. There's like
Mm.
different, you're using the same sort of skill sets, but different techniques. We talk a lot about plaster on the Drywall podcast,
Yeah.
and different systems and stuff like that. Um, did you happen to go and listen to any of the Drywall podcast episodes?
Yeah, your rates have probably went up quite a lot because I've been listening quite a bit.
Good,
Um,
good. I like to hear that.
yeah,
Which ones? Maybe just a couple that you really liked or
um,
didn't. Maybe you
I,
hated some of them.
I haven't hated any of them. Um, do you know they've all been really good, and I think this is
Thank
what I'm
you.
really enjoying about being on Instagram and getting to know everybody in the community. There's just so much
Yeah.
learning to do, and I
Yes.
feel like I'm learning more and more every day, and everyone's just so encouraging.
Me
So
too.
it's
Yeah.
nice to tap in and listen to their podcast episodes as well. But I do feel like I'm kind of intruding a little bit on their their lives by listening in. But it's really nice to get a more of an insight into people that you would just see on the screen.
Right. But now people can intrude into your life.
Yeah, they can. Oh, lovely.
So full circle. Now, I like
Thanks.
to ask, you know what? To me, it's like there's a human here. There's a human behind this persona on the
Mhm.
internet. And it's cool to me to get to know the human behind, like,
Yeah,
and how cool is that we share this trade of drywalling. I could watch you run the box, I can watch you make videos, and we can learn from each other. And now that we've done a podcast, it's so intimate, like we get to like meet each other, and
yeah.
it's nervous for me too, not so much as it used to be, but all these new people that I get to meet. um we've got Mark from Ames, like the guy from Ames, like he's kind of a big deal. But I talked to him on the phone. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be so friendly when it's hard to talk trash when you're like on a Zoom call with somebody.
I get that though, because I feel so starstruck when people like my videos. Or I got a message from the taping queen last week, and I was like, I might as
Nice,
well just hang my tools up now because I feel like I've made it. I might as well just leave Instagram because
nice,
it's so nice to get support and encouragement from people who've been doing it for so long, and they're so
yeah,
well known as well. It is.
yeah.
It's really nice.
That's cool. And have you reached out? You said you were gonna maybe reach out to Drywall Shorty. Have you reached out to any other women?
Yeah, yeah. So I just sent her a quick message, just thanking her
Okay,
for her advice. And she messaged back, which she didn't have to, which was really nice of her.
she's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone seems really great.
Okay,
I don't think I've reached out to anybody else. I've been too busy responding to comments and messages and things like that. It's gone
that's
pretty
cool.
crazy, even though I've only got about 700 followers.
And though at the same time, women can have a harder time in the construction industry because it's always been sort of like, oh, you're female, this is a man's world. That
Yeah,
that sort of attitude, which isn't true. Okay, cool. So you jump out on your own, you've got a kid, you're working office jobs. Maybe you're drinking a little bit, you're having fun. How do you jump around jobs? I mean, I guess
yeah,
at a certain point you meet Craig.
yeah.
I guess we could go to there. How old were you when you and Craig met?
So I was 21 when we met.
Okay.
Um, so Kate was around 3. Um,
Okay.
I was working at the Asda, so that's Walmart. I had a
Wait,
little job there.
what do you call it?
Asda
What?
or the Asda. That Ben would call it the Asda because he's from Liverpool, so he would call it
Okay.
the Asda, but I would just
Okay.
call it Asda.
How do you spell that?
ASDA.
And that's like the UK's version of Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Okay.
owned by them. I think it's owned by Walmart as well.
I wonder why they call it Asda.
It's always been Asda in the UK, so it's always been a supermarket in the UK called Asda. And I think Walmart then bought it, so
Maybe they
it's part
bought
of
them
the
out.
Walmart chain. Yeah, but it's
Okay.
still called Asda here in the UK.
All
Um,
right.
so
Yeah.
I worked in Asda at the time,
Okay.
um, and then I met Craig, and um, pretty much just I've done crap jobs, like
Yeah.
absolute crap jobs.
Love it.
And I did hit lucky though when I started working in a children's home. I was a burlesque fit instructor at the time, which is teaching, you know, women how to look pretty sexy when they're doing squats and stuff like that. It's like a fitness class, but a little bit raunchier.
Oh,
So I was
interesting. Like a
yeah,
burlesque fitness class.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good
So
concept, really.
yeah, I was teaching that at the time, and I was also volunteering in a children's centre. And one of my customers who came in, she said, I've just opened a new children's home. Do you fancy coming to work? And I said, yeah, go on then. I'll work on a weekend, and that'll start on a weekend, and that'll be it. And then before I knew it, I was working 40, 50 hours a week doing, 24-hour shifts and stuff. And it really takes over your life when you're working with children, especially in that capacity as well.
What does that mean you were working at a children's home? Is that a foster home?
Yeah, so I mean, the children aren't necessarily waiting to be fostered. Some of
Okay.
them have got plans to go home to their family. Some of them don't have plans to go home to their family. It just depends on the individual circumstances. A lot of them have emotional and behavioural disorders as well.
Okay.
So, and a lot of trauma as well. But it is really rewarding. But it can be very stressful as well.
It's stressful because you're dealing with like troubled kiddos.
Yeah,
The
I
maybe
think it's the
maybe
trauma. Yeah, and the
yeah.
trauma gets to you more than anything, especially if you haven't been through that type of trauma yourself. You don't quite exactly know what to say or how exactly to act. And I think knowing that one decision that you could make could seriously affect someone else's future it's a huge responsibility, and I think that causes a lot of stress for a lot of people in the industry.
Sure, sure. Probably a challenging business to stay in, but you were there for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. So probably I would say around 2014 I started. Um, I shifted among children's homes as well. So, I moved from home to home. And then I ended in 2022, I think it was.
Okay. Were you
And
making pretty
that's when I
pretty
started.
decent money though doing
Nah,
that? No,
no,
you it was like
no.
love of the kids.
Yeah, it is indeed. It's
Okay.
just the love of the job, and I think that's why a lot of people do it.
Yeah, and it probably made you appreciate maybe your kiddos a little more
Yeah.
and like that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's so hard. Like I don't think I could do that. We have
Yeah.
sometimes like in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here where I live, sometimes I'll see like homeless kids, like a mom,
Really.
on the
Mm.
street with like kids
Uh-huh.
asking for money. Like
That's awful.
awful. Yeah. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
just drives everything home. Like my little worries, like stuff that I'm worried about, doesn't matter.
Mm.
When I see that, it just like hits like a really bad part in me. Like I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I
there's
get
no
that.
way,
I would do the
there's
same.
no way. But all the while, Craig, you're seeing him go off with his drywall tools. He's coming home. He's having pints at the pub with his buddies after work. You're like, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go try this drywall thing out. Or did he say? Come on, Cathy.
So yeah, it was his idea really. I think he was recognizing the stress that I was under more than anything. He was saying, you're working too much and you're working too long, and so he just said, "Come on, come with me." And he was just going to pay pocket money to start with. So I picked up a little a little part-time job, just caring for a lady with cerebral palsy. So I would care for
Okay.
her and then do the taping as well. Um, that lasted about 6 months, and then I was full time on the taping. It was really
Why?
good.
You liked it. Did you like the mud?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Did you like working with the mud? You maybe you call it joint compound. We call it joint
Yeah,
compound.
yeah,
Here
yeah, I know.
they'll call it mud here sometimes, just
Yeah,
mud.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah, I enjoy working with it. Yeah, so um,
Why? What did you like about it?
I like I, d- I don't know. I like seeing something to completion. I like
Yeah.
seeing a finished product. I like the freedom that you get with taping as well. I'm my own boss. Obviously I do listen to Craig, and I take his direction at times. But yeah, I am my own boss. I can crack on and do my own thing, and
Yeah.
nobody's really telling me what to do or saying don't do this, don't do that, and I can leave
Okay.
whatever time I like as well. So,
Nice. That a little bit more freedom. I think that's probably true here too. You have to work certain hours, but I
mm,
think in construction, there's a freedom in construction. You're moving
mm,
around different jobs, you're physical, you're learning stuff every day, you're working with other
mm,
people. I like that. It's not just like I go to a desk, I sit at a desk every day, same
mm.
place, go to work, come home. Um, so was Craig working with a company at the time when you started? You were essentially like an apprentice.
No, so what we are is we're subcontractors, so we'll just kind of float between companies and pick up
Okay.
jobs where we're needed. So he was just kind of floating about. He was in the housing side of it, so new build houses. Um,
Yeah.
do you know? So he was doing houses at that time when I first started. But we've kind of moved on to commercial now. So we're taking on bigger jobs, and
Well, yeah, he's got
That's what
Cathy Bear,
Yeah,
the
that's what I
ultra.
said.
Yeah, it's like
That's
he
what I
just
said.
doubled.
I said, you weren't
So
getting these
so
jobs before I started.
Craig's no dummy. Craig's no dummy. He's
Oh, yeah, he knows.
come work for me. Let's make some money. Let's get it going.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
smart. Very smart. So he
Mhm.
was a subcontractor for a long time. He's like, I need help. I'm gonna bring Cathy on. We're gonna like,
Yeah.
tag team it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Tag team this work,
Yeah.
and you're still working with Craig.
Yeah. So there's four of us all together now. So
Okay.
we're kind of obviously because we're doing commercial work, we need to be in, we need to be quick. So there is four of us that work together, and we're all just, we're all paying and we all get, a good amount out. So
Yeah.
it works well. Obviously, if there's any smaller jobs, it'll just be me and Craig or, one or two of us by ourselves. But other than that, we generally all work together and it works well at the minute.
Okay. And you guys, do you have a name for your company? Not yet.
Nah, it's not really a company. We're just subcontractors. Um,
Okay.
I think we're kind of running off Craig's contacts and merit over the last 20 years. He's done a lot of work and he's well known in the area, I think. So,
Yeah.
he has gained a lot of contacts, which is good
And
for us.
you guys have been together a long time, 15 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Congratulations. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Not married though.
No, no, no.
What's going on, Craig?
What's the point? What's the point?
Come on, Craig. All right, we'll leave Craig alone. He did give you a pretty sweet job. Hey, you like it
I did.
anyways. And do you like working with? What are some of the challenges? Maybe you guys like. Do you ever like get just like I can't deal with you today? Go to your side of the job. I'm gonna stay
No,
over here. Nothing like that. You guys get along
nah.
great.
Yeah, I mean, we argue less now. I think that we work together than we ever have done.
Okay,
Um,
great,
and he's really fair as well. Obviously, he's got a lot more experience than me, so he just kind of hold the cards. But I get paid an equal share, and I think he
beautiful.
pays us more than I'm worth sometimes. But what's mine's mine, and what's his is mine as well, isn't it?
That's right. That's exactly right,
Yeah,
Cathy. You know the drill. So he knows exactly how much he's paying you.
yeah, he does.
I don't know if you have the same problems here, like there, as we have here, but it's challenging to find help. So, is there a method? Would you say Craig's maybe a good teacher?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how did you? I'm curious about how you learned. Did he have you on? What did you start doing first?
Um, First thing was the nail spotter. That was the first thing that I was
Perfect.
on. I was on that for about 6 months. I
Yeah,
never
but did
touched
you
another thing.
did you spot screws by hand though before the nail spotter?
No, no, just that was so when I first started, that was the first thing Craig gave me, just the nail spotter. There you go, do that. And that was my job pretty much for about 6 months. Obviously I used knives and done filling and
Okay.
rolling in and using the
Okay.
twitcher, things like that, flusher.
Okay.
Um,
The simple
the simple
automatic tools.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what'd you graduate to after and that's kind of a fun job. I thought. I mean, I remember doing
Mm.
screws for some, but maybe it gets boring.
Yeah, I think it gets boring, and I like to know everything right now.
Sure.
I want everything done yesterday, so I
Hmm.
did want to progress in it. So I moved on to the boxes after that.
Okay.
And I like boxing. I do enjoy it. I like to feel
Hard.
like I like to feel like I've worked out. I really do. I think it feels good at the end of the
Yeah.
day after a day of boxing. It does feel really good.
It does.
Um,
It's hard work, but I agree. I liked the way, how it's like you have this like feeling of accomplishment and it's like you're really tired, but it's like such a good day,
mhm.
when
Yeah.
when you box out a bunch of stuff for sure.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. And I started on the bazooka I'd say about 6 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago.
Okay. Piece of
Um,
cake, right?
yeah, easy, easy.
um,
I was never allowed to touch the bazooka for so long.
stupid.
And it was only when I bought my own that they were like, go on, then you can use ours.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Thanks. Can I
yeah.
use my own bazooka?
Well, I bought a second hand one, so it needs service. So
All right.
it is getting serviced at the minute. So they are letting me use theirs. But so they should. They've got so many. I want to try them all. I want to try every single one.
What'd you get? What'd you find?
I got a tape tech. It was just an older one. I think it's probably about 11 years old. Just a tape tech bazooka.
The way you're going with the videos, I feel like Aaron with Columbia ought to get you one of those fancy Predators over there.
Are
I'm
those
just
the really
saying.
long ones? Are those the really
Well,
long
yeah,
ones?
or one of the short ones.
I think
I
getting
think
the
they
long
have
ones
short.
because they're so short.
Yeah, there you go. They're cool. I've seen it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Maybe a little heavier, but very cool for like 12 foot. Yeah.
yeah. They are like heavy though. I mean, the comparison between I feel like the level 5 bazooka feels a lot lighter than the Columbia, and I like the heaviness of it. I like to feel like I like it to be like, a proper one of those machine gun things. That's what
Yeah.
I like it to
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah,
Makes it
for
feel
sure.
cooler, I think. But it does feel a little bit heavier and it feels nicer
Then the tape tech,
than the level 5.
then the level 5. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We get a lot of the tool companies will be listening, so they listen
Oh
in.
God, I don't want to piss anyone off.
Dude, fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. We speak freely on the Drywall Podcast. I want the
Oh,
truth.
if
I
we're
want the
speaking
truth.
freely.
Uh, yeah, maybe they won't give you a bazooka. I don't know. Maybe they will.
Maybe
Now
they
that
will, maybe they will.
yeah, you're working with Craig, you're learning all the tools, you're having fun, you're getting this stuff down. You've been in about 3 years, which is the length of an apprenticeship program in the United
Mm,
States,
yeah,
around 3 years. So you're getting pretty familiar with drywall. I mean, to like journeyman status by now. I would say you're probably pretty darn good. And what I've
yeah.
seen, you're pretty good.
Thank you.
So Ben is like, why the hell aren't you on social media?
And I'm like, Ben, why aren't you on social media?
Yeah,
You get
no
out there
shit.
with the bazooka.
Hey, Ben Cole, if you're listening, and I know you're listening, buddy, you know
Are
what?
you listening?
I've almost had him on the show a couple times. He admits like he's like too shy. He doesn't want to do
Yeah,
it.
he seems like
He's
he
too
is.
shy.
Yeah. And
But
people are
hey,
too shy. It's not for everybody, is it?
I know. But hey, Ben, if Cathy can do it, you can do it, man. Come on. There is a spot on the
Absolutely.
Drywall podcast.
Mhm.
I want to hear about GWI. I want to hear how you guys got started, the whole story. And I don't know, maybe I'm just picking on Ben at this point.
Yeah, got to pick on Ben.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. So Ben said you need to start making videos. And what was your response?
But I'm just so shy. So I was just like, yeah, I'm sure, whatever. Just brushing it off like, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. But he convinced me. He said, you might get a little, a free knife or something out of it.
Yeah,
You might get some recognition. And I was like, all right, go on then. But now I'm not really bothered about the free knives. I'm just having fun.
yeah.
I'm really enjoying watching people's videos, and I'm enjoying
Yes.
making them as well. I think
You're really good at
it's a
making them.
good
So
challenge. Oh,
what do
thank you.
you hadn't really made any videos, but you like, so maybe you were watching other people's videos and you're like, have a creative, because I make videos too. It's like, it's a creative outlet to make videos, and
Yeah.
you can kind of get creative. What platform are you using to make videos?
So I'm just pretty much using TikTok and
Okay.
CapCut at the minute,
Okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
just speeding up any footage that I've got.
Okay.
It's quite difficult to actually get the footage.
Yeah.
When you're trying to move your camera from room to room with a box
Yeah.
in one arm and a
It's a
bucket
bitch.
in the other. It's hard, but I'm doing it for the people. I'm doing it for the people.
Nice. And I mean, the thing about it for me is like stopping. I don't want to stop and like set up the camera. So what I
Yeah.
do is I'll have certain jobs where it's like, okay, I'm going to film this one
Mhm.
and I'll do it on that job. Every other job, I'm not going to deal with it. Like, no way. I have to like focus on like, okay, I'm going to film, but if I'm not filming, I ain't filming shit. Like I get there, I go to work. I want to get it done. I'm not messing with the video camera.
Yeah.
That's me. That's just how I operate. Everybody has their own little system. What tricks or tips would you give that you found early on in your videography, social media sort of process?
Um, to be honest, I'm still learning, so I've got no
Sure.
idea. Don't ask me for advice. Um, but I find just trying not to look at the camera is probably the best thing that you can do. Just set it up in the corner and crack on.
Okay.
Um, because I get quite self-conscious looking at the camera, and I think I think everybody does in a way, nobody's completely 100% comfortable in front of the camera. Um, so I would
It's
just say try not to look at it. If you're feeling anxious, try not to look at it and just edit what you've got.
Yeah. At first, I think it's a muscle like you build, you practice, and it
Yeah.
becomes like less,
Mm.
difficult.
Well, I'm hoping after this episode of, being on camera here, it might it might make me a little bit more confident in making videos where I might be speaking or, maybe doing voiceovers because that's the end goal. I think that's what people want to see, isn't it? They want to see you doing your job, but
They
they want a
do.
little bit of engagement as well.
They
They don't
do.
just
You
want to
saw
see
the
me.
the ice bath giveaway. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, you're
I
kidding.
missed that. I missed the actual beginning of it,
Go
and I caught the end, and I would have loved
you
to have said,
you can go back and watch it. I mean, it lives on the Drywall
yeah.
Podcast
I
page,
know I'm
but
saying I missed the competition, like I'd missed the giveaway. Um, is that the giveaway that you did?
you I think you were on there. I think you were
Oh,
in the
I
hat.
commented on it. I commented on it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'd managed to share. I thought I was
I
too late
just
for that.
everyone that
You're
commented,
just
I
not
put
bothered.
I put them in yeah, I put them in the hat. So it was yeah, there was like
Mhm.
35, maybe 40 people that were in the hat that I was choosing from. So, yeah. Yeah, you were
And
in
it was
there.
was it the Hessers? Did they win?
Jackie Hesser won
Yeah.
one of these shirts, and then Greg Strebe won the Hawk and the Roller Glide and a
Oh,
shirt
good.
and a shirt. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Those are
Yeah,
both really
yeah.
nice people. They're so nice. They're always so encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're really good guys.
Yeah, yeah, you'll just continue to meet really great people the more you get into this realm, and maybe some douchebags. Have you ran into any douchebag guys that are like, or women, I guess, but mostly guys that are talk trash?
Nah, nah,
Nah,
nothing.
I
Nah.
think we're past that. I
I
think
mean,
that there was a period of time when the women were getting more bashed than they are now. But especially if you
yeah,
get bigger, people will come on and try to talk trash.
yeah. I mean, I could imagine that, but it's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. I might just give my phone to Craig and he can just deal with it. I'll just say you deal with them.
Block. Just get them out of there
Absolutely. Yeah.
instantaneously. Very cool. So you're working with Craig, and you mentioned doing something with, what am I
So
thinking?
I like to raise money for Gaza. So I like to
Okay,
donate from
Gaza.
every yeah. So every job that I go on, I like to donate, say around 5% to a family in Gaza. It's the same family all the time, so we've been supporting them for the last 15, 16 months.
My mom
Very
supports a family.
oh, does she?
She does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a guy and a son.
Oh, that's lovely. There's so many though, isn't there? You can't help them all. And I think Craig would
Yeah.
probably die if he heard how much I've actually sent over the
Sure.
last 15 months. But
What inspired you to do that?
um I'm not too sure to be honest. I so until September 2023, I did drink quite a lot.
Okay.
And I stopped drinking in September. And I kind of just like started paying attention to more things, if you know what I mean. I was like
Yeah.
paying attention to the news, maybe reading a few more books, things like that.
Okay.
And then obviously the events of October the 7th happened, and I seen the aftermath of that, the destruction that came after that. And it just looked so unfair and unbalanced, and then I started looking more and more into it, and did a little bit of research and just realized that this has been going on for so long, and
Yeah.
that it's it's just terrifying, and I had no idea about it at all. Being here in England and brought up on terrible schooling and on a council estate, you just don't have an idea about these kind of things at all until you actually
Sure.
go looking for it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what like platform or how did you get to be able to help this family? What did you use or I assume in your research you found a way that you could help. And maybe there's somebody else out there that wants to help. What is the avenue that you use for that?
So there's a lot of people who I know who also support the same cause. Um, they've been in contact with the family. So I think there's about 6 or 7 of us that regularly donate. So we connect with the family on Instagram and they share updates and they'll share videos of their tent or wherever they're staying at the time. And they've got 2 little girls as well, and they'll share
Okay.
pictures and you know, they're really grateful as well for any money that you do send. They'll always show what they've managed to get for it, even though things are
Sure.
so expensive at the minute.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm asking specifically,
Oh, sorry.
how do you, like, if somebody wanted to get involved,
Oh,
where would they go? What would they do?
I mean, there's thousands and thousands of families out there, who do need help. You can donate to, medical aid for Palestine, for Palestinians, sorry. There's there's the Islamic Relief. There's loads of different charities out there that you can donate to, and it's not hard to find a family either. Everybody knows a Palestinian in the diaspora because they've been spread out for many, many years, across the world. So, everybody would know one. You might bump into one in the street. You could always ask them because I'm sure they would know somebody that could need some help.
Very cool. It's probably why Craig's with you specifically is your ability to share and give like that. I don't know. I don't know
I
for
think that's the
sure.
reason we'll split up, to be honest.
It's too much. It's too much.
Do you know,
Uh,
there's so many people doing it though. There's so many people who are giving and giving and giving and trying because I think a lot of us just, we're looking, we say someone's got to do something, and you know, somebody is,
yeah.
the likes of us, and if that's all we can do, then so be it.
Yeah. I
It
always think
might help.
about the saying, think globally, act locally.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
I'm always aware of the impact that I can have in my sphere, whether it's a
Hmm.
podcast or maybe helping somebody on the street. But it's not even like, or helping out with my son's soccer. It's, I think we all have a way or something that we can do to help out or contribute uh, that maybe is good for us. I don't want to work like in a children's hospital. That's not, I couldn't do that. Like, but there are
Hmm.
lots of things that I can do. And I think just being aware of things that I can do and
Yeah,
use my skills to help in some way, just like building community in the drywall arena, like that's cool. We can all do that,
yeah,
if we just look a little bit, there's like cool stuff that we can do, So
yeah.
kudos to you for doing
Thank you.
that. You reap the rewards of, helping a family. I'm sure it's really cool. You're kind of going on with the social media. Is there any aspirations that you have? Are there any goals in mind that you can see for the social media? You're just doing it, you're working, you're having fun with it right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it would be nice to get a few more followers, but I don't know how I would handle that because it's completely new to me. I've never had an account where, people are so engaging. It's just generally been a personal account where people, like a photo of your family. Um, People are quite engaging and, everyone's really encouraging. So I don't know how I'll handle having a bigger account if that happens. But
Yeah,
I'm sure. I think the goalposts can always change, can't they? The goalposts can
sure.
always change.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I might decide one day that I never want to do this again, but at the minute I am just having fun and learning what I can from it.
That's fantastic. And what about with your business with Craig? Where do you see you guys going from here?
Um, I would ideally like to teach people how to do it. Not necessarily just everybody. Well, I mean, obviously everyone would be welcome, but I would like to
Yeah,
offer it to people who maybe wouldn't get the chance to do it. So, you know, um, care leavers, people coming out of prison, things, people that have things that they wouldn't necessarily get a chance to have this opportunity. Especially here in the UK, there's nobody really knows about taping. No young people really know about it.
sure.
Um, Plastering's always been a big one here, but taping's, it's not very popular. Well, it hasn't been popular, but it is becoming more popular.
Okay.
Um, a lot of children, they leave school a lot like what I did, and they just go into jobs that they're not going to be happy in and that they don't really want to be there. I think it would be good to give other people a chance to learn the skills.
Yeah,
I would need a lot of funding though, wouldn't I? I would need a lot of funding and a lot of sponsorships for that, I think. But
sure.
maybe in the future, maybe.
Yeah, it's smart. I like it. Apprenticeship union. So there's unions here. There's apprenticeship
Mhm.
programs. I thought that apprenticeships were more prevalent in the UK, like apprenticeship programs,
Yeah,
carpentry, like that sort of thing.
yeah, but there doesn't seem to be very many young people taking them up, to be honest.
Okay.
I think yeah, we've got a lot. Well, from what I can see, on site there tends to be a lot of older men. There's not a lot of younger lads, and I just
Yeah.
think those men are going to be retiring soon, and
Yeah.
there's nobody there to fill the gap or nobody there to teach the young ones that are coming up. So it's going
Yeah.
to have a knock-on effect in years to come if something isn't changed. There needs to be a
Yeah.
big push. I think maybe it's within schools or colleges.
Yeah, it's happening here too. Like more people go to college. College is very popular. You go to
Mhm.
school, all this, and there's a lot of opportunity in the construction industry in the United
Right.
States. So, it's the same.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Which is weird because I think it's a good way to go. You can make good money.
Yeah.
It's physical. You're using your body.
Mhm. As an uneducated woman, in the UK, I don't think I could make as much money doing another job than what I can do taping, for working the same amount of hours. So I
Yeah,
could
there's
work,
college
50 hours in a
graduates
taping
here.
team.
College graduates that don't make as much as a journeyman finisher
Yeah.
or plumber or welder or carpenter.
Mhm.
I think it's shifting. I think it is shifting. People are starting to see it more. But yeah, there's a huge need because you have a bunch of people that are retiring. They're
Yeah, yeah.
older, Gen X, baby boomers. They're going out and
Hmm.
there's nobody to replace them. So the people that are in the trades have an opportunity to make more money. It's
Yeah.
going to become more sought after, I think.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, hopefully it
Hopefully.
comes back. This has been pretty lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Say what podcast you enjoyed. You said
Oh,
you liked a lot of them, but was there one that you really liked?
I like to call Jamie. I do.
Oh,
I get on really well with Call Jamie, and I could just listen to him talk all day because he's
salt of the
he's just
earth.
so fun. Yeah, yeah, he's so humble and just outgoing. And I love
Yeah.
Pam as well. So hearing her on the episode was really cool because we don't get a lot of Pam footage, do we? Yeah, like Pam doesn't do videos as often as Jamie does. So hearing
Wait,
her on the
who's Pam?
Pam, Jamie's wife.
Oh, Jamie's wife. I gotta cut that out. I gotta cut that
Should we start
out.
again? Should we do it again?
Wait. Oh yes, Pam. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I loved hearing her on the podcast. I didn't watch the episode, so I'm not sure if she was actually on there, but I did hear her in the background and it was really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if Craig was there, I'd be like, come, say hi, Craig. Get on the camera. Like, let's see it.
I told him he better stay in that bedroom. If he needs to
Oh,
go to the
really?
toilet,
You told
he
him to
better
go
hold
out.
it in. He better hold it in. The kids are in there, strapped to their beds,
All right, all right. The dogs are like outside. You like put the dogs in the kennel.
everything.
My cat comes in here. I heard him a little while ago. And he like comes in
That's
here
what
and
I
like,
was worried about.
yeah,
My cat jumps everywhere, so he'll be
yeah.
up on the tables, and I was like, he's going to knock this. Everything's going to be everywhere. It's going to be disaster.
Cool. If you're listening, catch the Call Jamie episode. That is a good one. I got to meet him in Canada recently, and just even better in person. Like a lot of these people, like you kind of don't know. You see them on social media, even hear the podcast, but then you meet him and you're like, oh my gosh, that dude's like
Yeah,
amazing. So, very nice guy. We
I
talk
can
on the phone
imagine.
sometimes. Yeah. A pearl of wisdom.
Uh,
So, what do you got?
do you mean in general or in terms
Like
of
at the end of
trade
the
or?
podcast, I ask every interviewee if they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
something they put on a billboard or a pearl of wisdom for the drywall community or the global
All right.
community.
All right. Probably try and look at things from perspective rather than perception. Um, I think we put a lot of stress on ourselves when we don't see things from other people's point of view or, from another view. And I think it helps us take things less personally as well. Um, if you can look at it from someone else's view.
Yeah, yeah. The shoe on the other foot, so to speak.
Yeah,
Cathy Bear, it's the tiniest taper.
it is.
How did you come up with the tiniest taper?
Well, I'm 5'1",
Oh
so
my
and a
God, you
half,
are short.
and a half.
You're short.
Yeah, five
Okay.
foot one and a half.
Okay.
So it was. I think it was just more to do with that. Um, Craig likes to
Yeah.
do the top bits of the walls, and I can do the bottom. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teamwork works
Do you
well.
walk do you walk a stilt?
No, we don't really have them here very much.
Ooh.
Especially on sites because the health and safety. We're not even allowed
Oh.
metal hop-ups. Sometimes it's all got to be scaffold or scissor
Okay.
lifts and
Okay.
things like that. So just on some sites, but the majority of the sites don't allow stilts. But I'd love to try
Okay.
them. I'd love to
Yeah.
give them a go. Yeah.
They're fun. I mean, I don't do ceilings without stilts. I've got two pairs, and then recently we got a pair from Serpro. Shout out to Serpro. Those are fantastic stilts, man.
I've
I love
seen
them.
those ones. They
Really.
look quite really sturdy, don't they? Like
Yeah.
the ones that I see sometimes I look and I think, I don't know if I would get on those, but I know the Serpro ones that they look really, really sturdy.
Yeah, they're really well built, and they do a good job with stilts for
Yeah,
sure. But very
excellent.
cool. Cathy Bear, the tiniest taper out of Newcastle, England, all the way from Newcastle. Thank you so much for being on the Drywall podcast today. Is there anything that we missed out that you would like to say or give a shout out to anyone?
There's too many to shout out. Honestly, there's been so many people. But actually, yesterday I was nominated for Female in the Trade Industry Friday feature, it's a group of women in the UK who all work in trades, um, and they all kind of support each other. And then every week someone's nominated, and I was nominated yesterday.
I saw
And
that.
that,
I liked it. That was cool.
yeah. Yeah, so I was nominated by Sam at ST Paints. She's a girl. She lives in the UK, and we chat
Okay.
now and then.
Okay.
But it's so overwhelming and so nice to hear things about yourself that other people think, and
Yeah.
that the fact that you're taking the time to nominate me and send a video and everything like that. It's just really nice, and I really appreciate that. It's so good.
Well, when you let your light shine, you people get to see you, you know,
Mhm.
and you're giving like other women permission to like come out and be like, oh, okay, this is cool. We're all in this together.
I hope
The tiniest taper did it. I can do it too. I'm gonna start making videos. I'm gonna start reaching out and connecting with people, and this is how everyone grows. This female in the trades for the UK. Is there a page? What page is it? If the women out there that are listening, or anyone in the trades that is listening want to go catch that, what's the...
So F_in_the_, and then trade industry, all one word.
Cool. And then you are just doing Instagram currently.
Yeah, I've got a TikTok as well, but I'm
Okay,
staying
that's
away.
right.
I've heard the horror stories about Facebook, so I'm staying away from that for a little while.
Yeah, those guys can be dicks. You know what? I say just go on there. Just go,
Do you
just
reckon?
powerful. Oh, yeah. Like, you know what else it is? It's a practice of not giving a shit what people think. Like,
Yeah, I think
it
I'm
doesn't
getting better
matter. It doesn't
at it.
matter. Like, people are going to have their opinions, and it just doesn't matter. You know, they're going to say what they're going to say. And I think a lot of the nervousness of coming on here, doing what we do, is that somebody's going to say something, I'm not doing it right, and that's all right. You know, that's all us. Has nothing to
Yeah,
do. It has nothing to do with, you know, somebody else. But I get a lot of value out of Facebook. There's a lot of good stuff on there as well. I'm just throwing it out there. TikTok can even be good too. I don't, you know, people talk trash about Fresco Harmony on TikTok. I don't even care. Like,
yeah.
It's Your Man Cam made a video and it had like 1 million hits with Fresco Harmony. And we were talking one time and he was just reading through all the negative comments. And I was just like, who are these
But it's all
people?
engagement, isn't it? It's all
Yeah,
engagement.
it's like
That's
he
what
got
you
all,
want.
you know, he got so many like hits from that. It was just unbelievable. So,
Yeah,
you know, let your freak flag fly. It doesn't
thank
matter,
you.
man. It doesn't matter.
Thank you. Speaking of Fresco Harmony as well, I'm really excited to try it.
Yeah.
Ben's got the order, so I'm just waiting on the things arriving. But hopefully, I can get some good footage for you.
I think there's a market for Fresco Harmony
Absolutely,
in the
absolutely.
UK. It's just a matter of
Mm.
like people finding out about it and trying it, and it'll
Yeah.
get going over there too, for sure.
Well, I've bought some stencils as well, so I'm hoping to try those alongside it just to see what it looks like. So you could have the best video in the world here, you never know, or it could just be
I
a
hope
complete
so.
disaster.
I,
We'll
I
find out.
even if it's a disaster, man, post it. I don't care.
Absolutely.
There is a stencil video on YouTube that I did a long time ago where we use stencil, and it works
Mm.
great. Yeah, no big
Yeah.
deal. Heck yeah.
Oh, well, I'll be trying it. I'll be trying it on every wall in the house.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Yeah.
It's extremely fun. I mean, it's color and mud. Like what could be better,
Yeah, I
you
can
know?
imagine. I can imagine. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to try it. So,
Very cool.
mm,
Thank you so much, Cathy. This was piece of
you're
cake,
more
right?
than welcome. I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Okay, all right. And we'll follow up with Cathy in a couple years, see where you and Craig are at and how everything is going in the UK.
Oh,
Or
lovely.
I do plan on coming and doing another training in Swindon. No promises, but I want to get over there this summer, like August, September. I think that would be a good
Yeah.
time. I was talking actually with Chad Hesser about going over there. And so if we do that, you'll have to come down or we'll have to go up to Newcastle. I would love to see
Yeah, I think you should
Newcastle.
come here. Definitely come
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take you
All
for the
right.
best football match ever, and then we'll go for
Right.
the best shawarma as well.
There you go. Wait, the best what?
Shawarma.
What's
Do you
that?
know what that is?
A
So it's
shawarma.
it's yeah, so next to the football grounds, there's a
That's
Lebanese food place that makes shawarmas, and it's the best food you'll get in Newcastle. It's
all
amazing.
right. Done. Shawarma. It's going to happen. Thank you so much. Give my best to your kiddos
Well,
and also Craig
and you
and
too as well.
yeah, we'll catch up soon. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Cathy.
very much, Nick. Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Huge shout out to Cathy for being on the Drywall Podcast today. I seriously can't thank you enough. I know that it takes a lot of courage. It's sort of scary to come on here and tell your story. You did a wonderful job. And let this be a lesson to any of you out there who are on the fence about coming on the Drywall Podcast. I would love to hear from you. Our listeners would love to hear from you. Just do it. It's easy. You can reach out to me at info@frescoharmony.com or social media. Give me a call. Also, let's not forget that Morph Sander, all the way from Australia, making a huge splash on social media. If you haven't followed the Morph Sanding Solutions page, please go and do so and check out the new Morph Sander. It is amazing. Want to see them online? You can check them out at morphsandingsolutions.com.au or check them out at csrbuilding.com. You can also hear all about the Morph Sander on my episode with James Y. Honig, episode 115, right here on the Drywall Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on the Drywall Podcast. Shout out to Cathy for coming on the Drywall Podcast. Shout out to everyone who listens to the Drywall Podcast. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. And remember, keep drywalling.